이걸 여다 보면 내가 지금
Gervonta Tank Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman.
What was supposed to be a routine court hearing quickly turned into a moment that nobody in the courtroom seemed prepared for. Cameras were focused, reporters were waiting, and tension filled the air as one of boxing's biggest stars, Gervonta Tank Davis, faced intense scrutiny during a highly emotional domestic violence court hearing. As the proceedings unfolded, every word carried weight. The courtroom remained silent as legal arguments were presented, but then something unexpected happened. The atmosphere shifted dramatically. Observers claim the pressure became impossible to ignore, and all eyes suddenly turned toward Tank Davis. The undefeated fighter, known for his confidence and composure inside the ring, appeared visibly emotional as the hearing reached a critical point. Was this the moment that could change everything? Fans across social media immediately began speculating about what they had witnessed. Some expressed sympathy, while others questioned what the future could hold for the boxing superstar. Within minutes, clips and reactions started spreading online, fueling an intense debate that continues to grow. For years, Tank Davis has built his reputation as one of boxing's most explosive and marketable athletes. His knockout power, championship success, and larger-than-life presence have made him a global attraction. But now, many are wondering whether the biggest challenge of his career is taking place outside the ropes. As details from the hearing continue to emerge, supporters and critics alike are searching for answers. Could this legal battle impact his future fights? Will it affect upcoming negotiations, sponsorship opportunities, or his standing among boxing's elite? The questions are piling up faster than the answers. What makes this story even more shocking is how quickly events appeared to escalate inside the courtroom. Witnesses described a tense environment filled with uncertainty, creating a scene that nobody expected when the hearing began. And just when it seemed the drama had reached its peak, another twist left people talking. What exactly happened during the hearing? Why has this courtroom appearance sparked such a massive reaction online? And what could it mean for Tank Davis moving forward? Stay tuned, because the full story is generating headlines everywhere, and the biggest developments may still be yet to come.
Comment 4 years ago.
I see too many similarities between Gervonta Davis and AB. I do not want Gervonta Davis to be another AB.
I was worried then because of how AB moved and what I saw in Gervonta. And I often said Gervonta was the last of the boxing children of.
A new court order has confirmed what fans were most afraid of. The much-anticipated fight between Jake Paul and Tank Davis is no longer going to happen. Not anytime soon. But what's going on behind the scenes is much more important than a fight that wasn't going to happen. There have been shocking charges, dramatic breaks, and courtroom videos that make everyone, from promoters to fighters, wonder if Tank Davis's empire is about to fall apart. Pay close attention, because this story moves quickly. And what you're about to hear could totally change how you think about one of the most famous boxers.
Days of Gervonta, or will he come back and right everything and then be dialed in into his career, and whatever he promises to do, whatever he negotiates, he's satisfied?
Before the violence broke out, this is what happened. A few weeks ago, everyone in the combat sports world was talking about it. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis. The event was meant to bring people from the boxing and entertainment worlds together. It was being pushed by both sides as a once-in-a-generation event that would happen on November 14th. Record-breaking pay-per-view numbers were already predicted. However, that ideal broke down almost as quickly as it was made.
outside the ring, for some reason he gets in trouble. You know, I'm not sure what he's going through, or if he is going through something. Man, we wish him, you know, all the best, and hopefully he gets back on a straight line. You know, we always wish that for fighters.
When no one was around, Davis's personal life was falling apart. By the end of October, Jake Paul's team, which was in charge of the most important promotions, had quietly started an internal investigation into the disturbing rumors about Davis's actions outside of work. At first, Fans thought it was just another way to get attention. Tank had been in trouble with the law before and always got out of it. This time, though, things seemed different. Every news story and every stolen document hinted at something worse. Before the fight managers could even sign the official contract, whispers turned into official statements. As fight night got near, one source said, that dream slipped further away.
Russell says she dated Davis for 5 months and recently filed a civil lawsuit accusing him of aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and other offenses. She claims Davis physically attacked her a number of times during their relationship.
Rosal is a VIP chef in Miami who says he has been threatened, scared, and attacked for months. A civil case that was just filed says that Rosal accused Davis of serious violence, kidnapping, false detention, and causing deliberate emotional distress. The charges are related to something that happened on October 27th at Tootsie's Cabaret, a famous men's club in Miami where Rosal worked.
Claims the most recent incident was Monday at a Miami nightclub. Davis is scheduled to fight Jake Paul in Miami on November 14th.
Rosal says the fight wasn't just a chance act. There had been a string of violent events since August. This was the most recent one. The letter talks about a number of scary events. In one case, she said Tank, who she said was drunk, grabbed her by the neck in front of his protection. In another, she says Davis locked her in his house and wouldn't let her go, telling her he would damage her car if she tried. The most upsetting thing that happened was on September 23rd at Playa Miami, where he is said to have choked her in public after sending her threats earlier that day. Rosal says she is afraid of being attacked again and is asking the court to protect her and give her $100,000 in damages.
Sport, that gets into your psyche and kind of with you, but I think Tank Davis, he has his whole career ahead of him. I don't really know if he wanted this fight.
According to her lawyer, it was a cry for help against a pattern of control and fear. Davis's side, on the other hand, says he is innocent and calls the accusations completely fabricated. But Tank's world was about to fall apart by the time the meeting came up on November 12th, just 2 days before the Jake Paul fight. That was just the start. What came next would surprise even his biggest fans.
Gervonta Davis is an actual walking human piece of garbage. Working with him is an absolute nightmare. The unprofessionalism, the bizarre requests, the showing up hours late to shoots, to numerous arrests and related accusations and lawsuits. If you support this man, you support the most vile sin a man could commit. I didn't want to go give this woman abuser a platform to grow his fans and to grow his bank account.
As the civil lawsuit gained steam, a second storm, this one criminal, broke out. Police in Doral say Davis was arrested on Father's Day, June 15th, after an alleged fight with his ex-girlfriend, who is the mother of his 2 children. The police report talks about a very confusing scene. Davis seemed to have come to get his kids, but a fight broke out right away. The woman told the cops that Davis hit her while she was reaching for their daughter in the back seat of his car. She called her mom on the phone and begged her to come outside because she was scared. When her mother got there, Davis was yelling, the woman was crying, and a cell phone camera was filming.
Slap you out. Mama said slap you out. I'm gonna slap you out. My mama said slap you out. Put some domestic battery stuff with him and his baby mom during survival. Gervonta Davis supposedly had put his hands on his baby mom, slapped her in the back of the head like she...
From what the film shows, Davis threw a small box during the fight. The woman left the scene of the crime and went to Baptist Health Hospital to tell them about it. Davis was arrested on July 11th by Miami Beach police who had a probable cause order. Reports say he refused to sign his Miranda warning. He was then charged with 1 count of domestic assault and freed on bond. Davis didn't say anything when he was asked to. His face was blank as flashbulbs went off all around him. He didn't say anything to the press. The news was getting worse for a man who was once thought to be boxing's next big star. And what the cameras saw after he was arrested made things even worse.
You had a bald head, we'd smack you in the back of the motherfucking head. Pure Bible. Some people saying he smacked her in the face like Will Smith did Chris Rock. But then some people saying he slapped him in the back of the head. Long story short, he got locked up for putting his hands on this woman. And Gervonta Davis, I'm sorry, you got a history of this. Constantly, keep getting.
The legal suit got stronger. There was another storm, but this one was bad. According to Dorado police, Davis was arrested on June 15, 2018, on Father's Day, after a claimed fight with his ex-girlfriend, who is the mother of his 2 children. The police report talks about a very confusing scene. Davis seemed to have come to get his kids, but a fight broke out right away. The woman told the cops that Davis hit her while she was reaching for their daughter in the back seat of his car. In fear, she texted her mom and begged her to come outside. By the time her mom got there, Davis was screaming. A cell phone was rolling while the woman was crying. From what the film shows, Davis threw a small box during the fight. The woman left the scene of the crime and went to Baptist Health Hospital to tell them about it. Davis was arrested on July 11th by Miami Beach police who had a probable cause order.
Getting a heavy escort before bonding out of jail. Now some are asking, was this special treatment? Local 10's Leanne Motohong is outside the jail in West Miami-Dade.
Reports say he refused to sign his Miranda warning. He was then charged with 1 count of domestic assault and freed on bond. Davis didn't say anything when he was asked to. Reporters were all around him, but he didn't say anything. Instead, he just looked blankly as flashbulbs went off. The news was getting worse for a man who was once seen as boxing's future master. What the cameras caught after he was arrested made things even worse. The video then came out. The video was shaky and fuzzy, but it was clearly real. Videos from inside the Miami building began going around the internet. In the video, Davis is clearly angry. He is sitting across from his lawyer and tapping his foot, shaking his head, and muttering under his breath as the judge reads the protection order. Other voices came out of the background when the decision was read. Some supporters gasped and yelled, "Free Tank," in answer. As things got worse, courtroom security had to step in. Some stories even said that Davis's family was crying, while others said that the court was racist and unfair. The truth is what is clear. It wasn't just a loss in court. It was a public fall apart. The energy changed, like a man seeing the walls of his kingdom close in on him.
Jail on Friday, charged with misdemeanor domestic violence battery. He left through the normal inmate release door, but what was unusual were the 3 corrections officers escorting him, one of them guiding him by the arm as reporters.
Things were not any calmer outside the building. People who were protesting, reporters, and allies all had cameras. Everyone had something to say. It was the first time that Gervonta Davis did not have to fight anyone. He was fighting for his image. As the crowd went crazy, another blow was about to land. It was one that would hurt his career more seriously. The boxing world was quiet for a few days after that. Then it went off.
I'm gonna just play to Jake Paul's rules. I still don't know exactly why this thing is falling apart, but it is falling apart bad. It is bursting at the seams. This should have never gotten started.
There were rumors going around that Jake Paul's promoter, Most Valuable Promotions, was going to cancel the whole showcase fight. The multi-million-dollar event had been promoted for weeks with sponsors and pay-per-view deals, but all of a sudden, it turned bad. Insiders say Jake Paul's team rushed to change their schedule in search of new names that could save the card. Reports say that Paul's team has called a small group of possible backup fighters. As backup fighters, Francis Ngannou, Terrence Crawford, Nate Diaz, Ryan Garcia, and Edgar Berlanga could all step up. Even though all of those stars could bring in a lot of fans, only Davis versus Paul would be truly exciting.
Exactly where we need to be in the fight, and that's it being off. Gervonta Davis is out of the fight. We should have never had that fight even on the docket, but it was happening. You knew it had potential to be a nightmare. It turned out to be exactly what we thought it was going to be. But then Jake Paul, to his credit, guys, after he completely rips Gervonta Davis, he sets his target on something I could have never imagined that he would actually be willing to.
At the same time, Gervonta's longtime teacher, Calvin Ford, tried to keep the story quiet. Ford told reporters in the area that Tank was feeling good and was thinking about his family. He was also shocked by how out of hand the story had become. But not every boxer was ready to stand up for him. Other warriors began to speak out. Some are kind, while others are extremely honest. Later, famous boxer LMT Roach Jr. said, "People should just let it go," referring to the cancellation. "I've let it go for a long time. Everyone should know that it's not going to happen."
I don't got, it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Like, I don't got nothing to do with me, so next.
The next person was Roy Jones Jr., who always spoke out. He told Fight Hub TV that Jake Paul knew what he was getting into. This kind of claim has been made against Tanks before. "You knew what it was when you signed that contract." That comment went viral on social media, leading to arguments, think pieces, and responses from followers that were very different from one another. A few hours later, #FreeTank was once again popular on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Some fans thought Tank was a target because he was so well known. Some people said that the law had finally caught up with him. There was a lot of noise online, in clubs, and in the boxing world itself. Many people thought Tank Davis was the bad guy, but one thing was clear: he was the victim. Things weren't as calm inside his camp as they seemed.
It was when he first signed the fight. This ain't the first time he had battery against a woman. You knew what it was when you first signed the fight. So don't get mad and cuss him out and talk bad about him now. You knew what it was when you signed up for it. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's not do that. I don't talk bad about him either, but don't do the dude like that. No, the dude having a hard time in his life right now. Don't just do him like that. You know what I mean? Because you knew exactly what he was when you signed him to fight.
Tank didn't use social media for a few days. It was not possible to make posts, interviews, or comments. Then, late at night, his Instagram story showed a single note. "There is only black writing on a gray background. They want to break me, but I'm ready for trouble." No background or description. But that one line said everything. His fans saw it as a sign of his strength and a sign of a fighter who would not give up. It looked like deflection to his foes, another way for Tank to avoid taking responsibility. Soon after, Davis's lawyer put out a short statement saying that he plans to fight the court's decision and that his team is working on a defense. At the same time, there was a brief order against them. Tank isn't allowed to get within 100 feet of Roselle's car or within 500 feet of her boss, the Miami club. And the timing couldn't be worse, even though the legal limits are already bad. Just 2 days ago, Davis was supposed to walk out to the ring under bright lights. Instead, he will go into court and stand in front of a judge instead of Jake Paul. Neither the organizer nor the boxer could have seen this coming. Considering this, what does this mean for the future of one of the most controversial boxers? For Gervonta "Tank" Davis, this is more than just another court case. In terms of his job, it's a turning point. This man went from living in one of the most dangerous parts of East Baltimore, where just staying alive was a daily fight, to becoming one of the strongest boxers of our time. He was more than just a winner. He was an example of what can be done with ability and hard work alone. People have said that he looks a lot like Floyd Mayweather. He has sold out stadiums and inspired young boxers from Baltimore to Brooklyn. Some people have said bad things about each highlight reel finish, though. He never seems to get over this sadness. That being said, Tank's story isn't all bad. He wanted to give back to the places that had an impact on him, so in 2023 he gave money to help fix up homes in his old neighborhood. He has also made it clear that he wants to quit and go to therapy before the end of 2025. This shows that he is aware of how his way of life is hurting others. The reputation, the story of redemption, and the story of the comeback are all on the line now. Experts in sports warn that if he was found guilty or fought the case for a long time, it could hurt his ability to get supporters, push back fights, and even lose championship titles if the governing bodies canceled his license. This is a stark warning that the war outside the ring can be the most dangerous in boxing. He has been trading blows with world-class opponents for years. This time, though, his biggest fight is with his own past. And the decision could change his life for good. So, the question everyone has is whether Gervonta "Tank" Davis will ever come back from this. Is this the moment when his kingdom finally falls? It doesn't matter how many titles or knockouts Gervonta Davis has won, what the people think can be stronger than any punch in the ring. It's getting closer to his next court date, and fans all over the world are wondering if the Tank we used to know will ever come back or if this is his last fight. Please write what you think below. Does this seem fair, or has the media gone too far? Also, don't forget to click the bell, like, and follow so you don't miss the next part of this story.